And she said live, good evening. Welcome to the Attitude Shift. Yes, it is me. I'm a little dolled up tonight, and I'm in different surroundings. I have parked the virtual red Corvette at my parents' house. I'm at the Parentals filming tonight. Can you just believe it? They get to hear me in all my wisecracking glory. But she's heard me like that all my adult life, so this is nothing new to my mom. So, hi, Siobhan. How are you doing, darling? You look really bright and sunshiny to say all the work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It must be my birthday present. My oldest sister, sent me a birthday package, a belated birthday package. She had a friend deliver it who came to my town from her town, which is quite a ways away. So she gave me this great necklace. Can you see it?
I see it. It's great.
Oh, cool necklace.
I really like it.
A couple of purses and a couple of pairs of earrings and she actually, considering that we probably grew up together, but she was always like 15 years older than me. She knows my taste, she doesn't give me something that I won't use.
That's cool. And you look pretty. Do you feel pretty?
I do, and thank you very much.
I feel so pretty.
I feel so pretty. Thank you very much. No, it must be because we're pitching 2 shows, and I've been nonstop working on that, and just having fun. And we finished one and got across-the-board approval from our team, and you're getting that burned onto DVDs and into a package and to New York City for Monday morning.
I'm getting it out of here tomorrow. We're getting it out of here tomorrow. And I don't even want to think about it on Friday.
And I've just finished, just showed you, shared my screen with you, the version of the second pitch that we're doing. And we're not in it. That's the cool thing.
I know. Isn't that something?
We're just producing it and creating it, and I think it's really cool. So that's done. We just have to work on the treatment a little bit, massage that. It's, I've got to say, Donna, it's one of the highlights of my week is to be able to work on pitches with you and do this show. It's what I want to do. I do all this other stuff, but it's what I love to do, and one day we'll get paid for it.
I know. I agree. It is the highlight to be able to do what we're doing. I was so impressed with how quick you took the footage from the second pitch, and I mean, it's ready. It fell into place. It's hilarious. And I want to say, we have a disclaimer at the beginning of that pitch. I think we should have another disclaimer following it saying, this it really isn't us. We're just like doing this. We're doing the producing and all of that, but I think maybe we might want to do a second disclaimer after the first one.
Really heavy-duty language, bad language, and we don't use bad language unless it slips out on this show, and so we're very careful not to, use 4-letter words and curse words and stuff like that. But this particular video really called for it, and the stars came out.
They did.
They came out with some very colorful language, and we just left it in, and I didn't bleep it out.
No,
it's not like it's going on a network right away. So we figure that the network execs can take a look, they get a feel, and they always bleep these things out. You always hear on all these shows, bleep, bleep, bleep.
They might bleep the entire first season out if it keeps going the way it is. And then again, I might be reporting next week that I've been called back into my bishop's office for what I'm producing. So, but that said, this is a very thin line that I'm crossing on this pitch. But maybe that's a show topic.
I know. I actually feel a little embarrassed even watching it, because I do watch my language, and I throw the F-bomb around and a few other curse words, choice ones when I'm in a mood, but we don't use it in our writing. We don't use it in our shows, so it's not common for the audience to hear me, and so I'm not even on this video. I'm not even in it. I'm just editing it and helping. We're writing the treatment, and it's the characters that are speaking, and I'm embarrassed.
We just tapped into something, sometimes, something's there and we tapped into it. And, like I said, this will make a great show one day as to how do you make choices? You know, how do you decide whether to cross the line, whether to push the envelope? How do
Yeah.
you decide to do that? So that would be a
Yeah.
great show topic.
I agree. So tonight's show topic is very interesting, and we're talking about can we take too many selfies? Because the world has become very much about self-love when it comes to taking pictures of ourselves because of
Hmm.
social media, and we don't always have somebody taking pictures of us, so we're like
Very
snapping
good.
pictures.
A
See,
selfie
good.
a day. A selfie a day
Does it keep?
keeps depression away.
Ah, so not the doctor, just depression.
Yeah, well, it keeps probably other things, but for me, it helps me with feeling good about myself because I'm looking at myself. And sometimes it's important on the inside. Make no mistake, the inside is important. But when you're facing yourself and you don't feel well and you feel really bad and it shows, you have a choice right then and there to fix that. You have a choice and you get to see yourself smack on. And so you get to decide what to do. So I do. I take selfies, bunches of selfies. And a lot of them don't get posted. A lot of them are just for me. My phone pictures, probably 75% of the pictures are of myself. The rest are family with me in it.
Well, no, I think it's an interesting concept that you have is that we have this ability to take selfies now and post them. We can post them, keep them on our phones, keep them on our desktops, wherever, and we can use them as a gauge to how we're feeling about ourselves. Because
Absolutely.
even when I'm on this show, sometimes I get on and I think, oh, you look so haggard. You are, you know, you shouldn't be seen in public. And then I turn around and I watch the show and I watch my expressions and I see that, I don't look half bad most times.
Right.
So, I'm animated and attractive in many ways. And so I may think of myself before I get on the show as being butt ugly that day because I haven't done my hair. This, I got out of the shower. This is the way my hair dried today. I
Hmm.
didn't do anything to it. So often you feel like you're just looking awful. You're
Right.
feeling your
Right.
worst. But if you take a look at a selfie or you do a short video of yourself, just kind of like what we're doing right here,
Hmm.
then you can see that the sparkle is still there, that you're still the attractive person that you should believe yourself to be.
Absolutely. And they really do help because after every show, when they post, I go back and I look at them. I look at the shows almost immediately because I want to see how we look. I want to see the light. I wasn't like that last year. I wasn't even like that when we first started um, doing the show live on Google Plus. I wasn't like that at first, but now I'm really, really careful about what I look like because I'm a different person now. When you face yourself head on, once again, you have to love yourself. I love me now. I still have a struggle with other things, but I'm starting to put me first. And then it makes it easier for me to get along with my kids. It makes it easier for me to get along with my husband because I'm caring about me. And when I look at myself and take selfies, I do. I go, golly, you're almost 55. And you know what? You look pretty damn good. You look pretty damn good.
Hmm.
If nothing else, take a wicked selfie.
You actually do. So a lot of people kind of selfie bash, right, on Facebook. They go, oh, way too many selfies for my taste, and you never see them taking selfies of themselves. Maybe because they think they're too cool. Who knows, right? But I think that if you take a look back over the year of selfies you've just taken, you'll
Hmm.
see a change.
Absolutely.
And
And that's what I do.
Yeah, and if you are shifting your attitude and you're working on your awareness level and you're out there doing your best, you'll see a change, and it'll be a change for the positive. You said the other night I looked younger or something like that. but I do. I feel that way.
Yes,
I
you do.
feel sort
You
of
do.
like lighter and brighter, and oh, that's cool. Cool. Does the light do that?
Yeah, I did that. I saw
Lighter
that.
and brighter.
Spooky. No, it you did, and I think it is because some of the things you're doing too, and you're in your element. You're editing like crazy right now, and you're doing treatments. And Siobhan, whenever you're doing those things, even though you have this tremendous pressure to get them to me, so I can be under pressure to get them to the next level, you thrive on that. You can tell your cheeks, your eyes. When we were all talking the other day, when we were all just laughing, all three of us, we were just laughing, and you can see it in our faces. I mean, it's good footage. We're using some of it, and look at our faces. I mean, you have been sunburned, but you still,
That's
you
sheer.
again, you were where you were. You know, Tara was where she was, pouring having a sip, and
Yeah, she likes to think she's not a drunk.
but we
Different now.
no, we're
She's
just
so
kidding.
funny. She
We're
often
just
has
kidding,
a
Tara.
drink because she's 3 hours ahead of us, or at least me. So often it's cocktail hour or late in the night. she's
Right.
having she's having a little cerveza. So you
So
know,
when you said bashing, I've been bashed quite a few times about selfies. Um, I mean, I don't care though, but I have. But it's just like you said, it's your lane, and if it makes you feel good, and it kind of, I know a couple of people who don't even have profile pictures of themselves up, and
yeah.
and and I know them personally, and I have feelings why maybe, and a lot of times people don't like even the way they look.
hmm hmm
And if you can't like yourself, that's going to prevent you from doing a lot of things. Even putting something as small as a profile picture up. If you're having problems with yourself, whether inner or what you stare at physically in the mirror, you're having problems. And I think that's part of the reason why sometimes you get people that bash you is because they can't do what you do.
Well, and the other thing is we've noticed with Google Plus, because we're on camera, and so our guests who come on would have to be on camera. We find a lot of people decline
I know.
coming on the show. It's actually difficult to find guests. Not, and it surprised me because there's a lot of people that would say, "Oh, I'll just, can I phone in?"
Right.
No, you can't. It's a webcast. You have to look at us. You have to be on
Yeah.
camera. You have to be face to face, and they'll decline. And some of them are people that have been on our show before because they
Right.
could call in on
Because
Blog
they
Talk
could
Radio,
call in.
and
So
now they won't come and join us
right.
here on Google Plus.
So what's the attitude about that? Why don't we? Are we worried about being seen as conceited? Are we worried about being seen as a certain way? Or, are we worried about, like you said, following everyone else? I mean, when I saw the first selfie that I had ever saw and saw someone put selfie, I was like on the bandwagon. I was like, I love it. Selfie. Why didn't I think of that? You know? And it's just been like that. Just like I love hashtags. I think that was so cool. Hashtags was really quite funny to me because you can say just about anything and get away with it with a hashtag. And if you read them sometimes, some of them are phenomenal because, it's little hidden messages in the hashtag. So, I mean, I like that too. So what's wrong with liking something? What's wrong with jumping on a bandwagon for something?
Yeah, I have no problem with it because I do take selfies. I think that maybe, if you put up 100 selfies a day, that would maybe be too much. People don't want to see it. But of course, then Facebook doesn't show your friends everything you put up anymore.
That's
So,
right. That's
you
right.
know, once in a while you see a selfie. The only reason I know what's going on in your world is because I actually go to your
See a
page
selfie.
and look down, see what's happening in Donna Butler's life.
Selfies.
Mostly selfies. No,
Selfies with the grandkids. Selfies with the man next door. Selfies.
I actually think people who don't take selfies may need to rethink that. And the people that won't come on Google Plus because people will see them maybe need to kind of dig deep and find out why it is they're not wanting to be seen in public that way. And those people that don't put up profile pictures. Are you hiding something? Do you think somebody is
Ooh,
going to see something on your face that you don't want them to see?
transparency. Ooh, I like that. Maybe that's even an extended, next time pick up where we left off and throw that out there. Because maybe when we start to look and see who has profiles and who doesn't, like I said, I can name a few people that I know that,
Mm-hmm.
and normally I remember someone saying that they don't friend anyone that they can't see their picture. I remember someone saying that, that's one of their rules of thumb, is that they don't, you know, friend people if they can't see their face. So, maybe we need to, like you said, rethink the attitude of why you aren't doing that. And if there's something you can shift and do,
Mm-hmm.
take advantage of that shift. Take a
Yeah,
couple of selfies. You don't have to post them. And it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to to think you're pretty or to love yourself and be selfish. Like we always say, to be selfish every now and then. And if you stop and think of the word selfie, it's kind of like selfish. Just
Mm-hmm.
selfie, drop the E and add the SH, selfish. So, maybe we need to be selfish every now and then. Thanks, Tara, for saying whose. We needed to know that.
Oh, did she tell us? Okay,
She
good.
did.
Thank you. We needed a grammar lesson for our pitch. We wanted to say whose,
And you were right. It's
whose,
WHOSE, whose.
but now we've changed it from that. So
Ah, she just
the
said,
word, the sentence we were going to use, we already changed it. Wow, I feel like going right into our pitch treatment. I'm looking at it here. It just popped up. Okay, we'll just keep going with the attitude shift show. Oh my goodness.
well,
Attitudes in the news. I think we've got the
um,
selfie thing down.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Other than to do quick, we didn't rev engine, but we could do attitudes in the news. And attitudes in the news is all about the NFL right now. National Football League in the spotlight made me have to come to a decision on Sunday if I wanted to watch a game or not, or would I join the people protesting. Very difficult for me because you know that I love the game. My bucket list is to be a quarterback. One of the things on my bucket list, be a quarterback for an NFL team. But not right now because I'm really sour at the NFL. I'm really sour at not only some of the players, but some of the fans and Roger Goodell. So I have a bad taste in my mouth.
I think it's a very easy fix. In the contract, you write into the contract if you are, if there is video or audio or pictures of you beating your wife or your children or anybody else, dogs, uh, fish, whatever, you lose your standing in the NFL. You no longer get to be a football player. You're out. That I think across the board they have to do that. They can't say, oh, you just beat your child, but you can come back and play on Sunday.
Right. But I also think what they have to do is they're going to have to provide because these men make lots of money. And if there's no contract signed like that, I mean, people beat their wives every day. I'm just going to keep it real. People beat their wives every day.
But if
And
they lose money, like in the NHL, if they get penalized, they actually lose money. Like if
right,
they're,
right,
if they hit somebody from behind or, it's a bad
right.
hit,
But
they'll
that
lose
again,
money.
that's on the field. What you do behind closed doors, that wasn't closed doors. That was the elevator got leaked out. And I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form because I like football. I am not. Like I said last week, I blame both. I blame her. I blame him because she had to draw a line somewhere too. She's in control of her own body, so she's got to take responsibility for certain things too, and so on and so forth. Now, for the little guy, Adrian Peterson and his son, the Minnesota Vikings, that was a shock to me. But yet again, these are only human. This is what we get as a society for putting these people so high up on pedestals that we are totally shocked and freaked out when they do something that we see people do every day. Stop putting these men on pedestals. These are football players. They go out, they earn a living, they make a job. Just like I go to work, you go to work, our spouses go to work. These men go to work. They're human. Now, men beat their wives, like I said, every day. People whip their kids every day. There's got to be a line drawn. And if it starts with the NFL, like you said, inserting in the contract, having these open and frank talks, not waiting until someone's dead or someone's got living crap beat out of them. You know, it starts at the top. It starts with Roger Goodell because he knows more than what he's claiming that he knows, and he needs to go ahead and come clean because these guys are going to start coming out of the woodwork like cockroaches now. For every little thing that they have done, it's going to start coming out like cockroaches. And before I see the NFL like ruined and I don't get football at all, let's straighten this crap out. Let's straighten this crap out.
You know, these guys can stand up and be men, and they can get control of themselves. They may need a team of psychologists.
I agree.
You know, teaching them how to father, teaching them how to be husbands, teaching them how to be good citizens. I mean, there are, yes, we all lose our tempers. Yes, we all get frustrated. Yes, we all have moments of rage, but you know, you actually can control those moments.
Right.
If you're aware of your actions.
Right. And I believe that. But like I said, once again, we've got to stop looking at these people like they're these great gods.
Like I said, my mom used to count to 10.
Yeah.
There's a reason you stop and count to 10.
My mom threw a spoon one time around the corner. It made its way around the corner and caught my brother on the side of his head. How she did that still amazes me, you know, and that was back in the day. And I'm, you know, not going to go in there because that's another show too, because there's a fine line with, you know, spanking and corporal punishment that we don't have time to do that. So, and that's going to be a show where we get Tara Kennedy Klein on. So.
Well, that's good. So, are there any other news things? Because it really has. The NFL has taken over.
It's dominating. The NFL, yeah.
There's ISIL, and I think there's a lot of. It's pretty scary to see that there is a terrorist group that if you don't convert to Islam, they kill you.
Right.
And I don't think it's, I think it's really hard I think it's great that there is going to be a coalition of countries that are going to share in the responsibility of protecting the world, because I do think that these kinds of groups can get out of hand, and I do think that they target these young men that have no purpose in their lives, and they go after them and they recruit them, and the media again doesn't help because 24/7 they're talking about it. So of course they're giving the terrorists an open mic basically because of the internet, because these young men can go on and look at all these recruitment videos and things like that. But I do think that it's been a good thing that you see all the countries banding together. I just heard that Canada sent some military advisors to Iraq, just as Australia did, and Obama was talking about that. President Obama was talking about having military advisors. So some Canadians went, some Aussies went, along with the Americans. And what I think we need to do is back off on the 24-hour news about it.
Yeah, I don't even, I have limited myself to the news. I watch it in the morning when I'm getting my kids ready for school, and then I can check my phone, for updates on certain things. Other than that, that's kind of it, because and I'm not taking anything away from this, but every time you hear another beheading, and every time you hear that there's just another journalist, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger, and I think that this is something that we need to, as a country, as individuals, before we start criticizing and saying what we would do. I hear that so much, what I would do, what President Obama should do. before we start doing that, we need to just step back. Like you said, we need to pull away from the comments. We need to stop showing those beheadings. We need to ban those right now. I know everyone's saying, well, they're newsworthy. And I mean, how many beheadings can you see before you become desensitized? And, it's just not something I want to see every day. So, I mean, I think that's what we need to do. I think we need to this is a time when America needs to kind of close their mouth for a little bit and kind of let our leader of the free country do his job right now. I really feel that way. I feel strong about that. No matter what people might feel about President Obama, he is the president right now. And I think this is a serious enough situation where we just need to keep our opinions and be united. We're, United States of America. We need to show united front right now.
I think the world needs to show a united front.
Yeah.
And on the other news, there's an attitude in the news, is that Rob Ford, the famous mayor of Toronto, was diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
So there's all this media attention. It's gone from sort of, cokehead mayor to now he's going to be chemo mayor. And people are now going, oh, poor man. But weeks earlier, they were making fun of him.
I know.
When he was falling all over himself, when he was just a cokehead, and
I don't feel any indifferent. I don't feel any different.
What's different?
Nothing. He's just a crackhead mayor with cancer now. Okay, so was that politically incorrect? I don't know, but that's what it is. He's just a crackhead mayor now, and he's been diagnosed with cancer. Doesn't change anything, And I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to. This is not an automatic label that should forget everything.
Right. The thing is I see how it's being set up. So he's going to go through chemo, which I know it's difficult. I feel for the guy that he's going through a life-threatening illness, and the treatment is just as bad as the illness. I mean, it could kill you, right? So I get that, but I've seen the news turn from hating on him to feeling sorry for him. Right. And now I see it being set up for when he is a survivor. Now it's going to be, he's a comeback.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be on all the talk shows, and everyone's going to want to hear how, chemo changed his life. And cancer changed his life from being a crackhead mayor to, champion for, you can do it, change your life. And that's all good and fine and dandy if that's the way they spin it. But
is it just all the spin doctors, though? Is
right,
it all about the spin doctors? Is what we get to see and what we get to choose to think from the spin doctors?
Right. So I choose not to, I just choose not to, period. I choose not to keep watching the beheadings. I choose not to worry about the mayor. I choose not to be a part of all of that. I just choose not to, because that's just adding more things that's not in my lane. Yes, this has to do with my country, but I'm not going to continue to make these, comments that sometimes are really offensive. And I feel sorry for the people who lost those people. Mm-hmm. Those are their loved ones that are being shown all on YouTube in graphic, in all its graphic glory.
I didn't even watch them, just listening to the news about them. And they don't talk about it, but just seeing the guy holding the dagger, and I'm thinking, is that what he used? Yeah. I never saw it, but I'm thinking, he used that little knife?
Yeah, so you can,
do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, I do.
As a character in Spartacus said, it takes a lot of effort to take off a man's head.
Yeah, it does.
Or something to that effect. And so I think about Spartacus, that line in Spartacus, and then I think about the little knife this guy's holding, and I'm thinking, I don't need to see the video to get an image in my mind, and it's an awful image. And just before the show, my mother-in-law was very nearby, and although I had my headset on, I could hear her talking about a dog that somebody had done something to, and I immediately did this. la, 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 la.
Right, right.
I did not want to hear what she was going to say. I just knew where
Exactly.
it was going, and I just couldn't, I couldn't, I knew I wouldn't be able to get that graphic out of my head. So I didn't want to even hear the story.
So if you don't want to get it, if you don't want to have it in your head, you just have to turn away from it. And I believe there's some things that are meant for us to see there, for us to share publicly, for repeatedly over and over and over again. So that's my opinion. But if you don't want to have it in your head, burned and grained in your head, then don't look at it. Shift away from it.
Well, and we're going to shift away from this
I
show
know.
tonight.
It's
It is
time.
time. It's time. Say goodnight, Donna.
It's time to put it in park. I don't know what we're talking about next week, but all I know is that it's been a real raw ride on. We're exhausted. We're going to keep going after the show. We have much more to do. So with that being said, lovely, sleep well, and on behalf of the Attitude Shift, peace out. Good night.